can't always control it, but you sure can always surrender it. If you're like me, when you feel anxious, what do you try to do? You try to control it. When the anxious feelings come in, you're like, well, I'm going to fix that. And I'm going to change him. And I'm going to control that. And the more control that you try to take, what you discover is some of you are really good at it. You're really good at controlling things. And so when you try to take control, you take more control and everything has to go the way you want it. But what's really happening is your anxiety level is going up for the fear that now you might lose control. And then some of you are really bad at taking control of situations. So when you try to do it, it fails miserably and the anxiety goes up because you feel like a failure. So either way, when we try to control it, it does not work. It doesn't work. And you know that. You have to recognize the truth that you don't have power to control everything. See, I think what happens is we say we trust God. We say that he'll supply all of our needs. But then something happens and it doesn't go the way we want it. And so we try to control the outcome to be what we want. We know that God said he'll provide, but did he mean that he would provide the way I want him to? Because if not, then I'm going to have to assist him in making it happen. And that does not work. I'm reminded of one of Jesus' first followers, Peter, and an experience that he had with Jesus that affected the rest of his life. He was with the rest of the disciples on the boat, and Jesus wasn't with them. It was in the middle of the night, and they look out in the middle of the water, and they see some figure out there. They think it's a ghost, but it turns out it's Jesus, and Jesus is walking on the water. And Peter, being the bold one, he's like, hey, Jesus, that's really awesome. Can I come too? Jesus is like, come on out. And Peter steps out of the boat in faith, and he starts walking on the water. I just imagine that. What an incredible experience for Peter. And everything was going really, really good until he noticed the weather changed. And the wind started to blow, and a storm was coming up, and the waves started to crash. And as soon as he stopped looking at his Savior and started looking at the storm, he began to sink. This is recorded in Matthew 14. And as he's sinking, he does the only thing that he can do, the only thing he knows how to do. He cries out, Lord, save me. What does Jesus do? He reaches out his hand and he pulls him up. And I think that image is stuck in Peter's mind forever. Later in the New Testament, when he writes a letter, he says this, humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. What's weighing on you? What's your burden? What are you anxious about? Is it the future? A job? Money? Your kids? Aging parents? Your health? You can't keep up. So you try to control it. Peter says to try to control it is pride. It's pride because you're trying to take the place of God. When you don't trust God, it's pride. And pride is the gateway to all these other issues in your life. And so when you feel like you're sinking and you feel like you're weighed down, how anxiety weighs down the soul, you need to call out to God and say, save me. I give this to you. I surrender this to you. I cannot do it. He says, cast, throw, get rid of, surrender, let go of some of your anxiety, but hold on to the stuff you really count. No. Let go of it all. Put it on him. Do you believe that he is the God that you say he is? Do you believe he's the God that will provide? Then let it go. And say, God, I give this to you. I give this situation to you. I give this marriage to you. I give this family to you. I give this church to you. I give this job to you. I give everything to you. Let it go. I give it to you. Because I can't do it. And if you're like me, man, you do that, About 10, 15 minutes later, you're like, I got to do it again. I got to give this school year to you. I have to give this season to you. I have to give this person to you. What are you going to do when anxiety attacks you? Remember, it's not a sin, it's a signal. It's not a sin, it's a signal. Remember, it's okay to feel it. Just don't fuel it. It's okay to feel the feelings of anxiety. Just don't keep fueling them. Remember, you can't control it, but you sure can surrender it.